Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Out of Boston, and today I'm back for the start of a brand new series on my channel. I am starting up a franchise series on Madden NFL 18, and it is going to be with the Buffalo Bills. That will be my team of choice this season. I'll talk about my team selection pretty briefly, but the Bills, definitely a rebuilding team. They sort of waved the white flag on this season, I would say, before it even got underway with the trades of Sammy Watkins and Ronald Darby. And, basically what really kind of made them appealing to me as a team to do was they have hoarded some draft picks. They've got 2 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders, and 2 third-rounders now in this upcoming draft. And a rebuilding team, and also kind of a quarterback situation that's a little bit up in the air right now. They have Tyrod Taylor, who I think most agree played pretty well last year, and I think a lot of people were surprised to see the Bills were looking to potentially move on from him at one point. Now, they brought him back for this year, obviously, but I think he is going to be a free agent at the end of the year, I want to say. And, it is going to be something that in this franchise we're going to be able to evaluate, how Taylor does in year one and then make that decision. Do I want to continue forth with him as my quarterback for this franchise and try to build a Super Bowl contender with him at the helm? Or do I potentially look at spending one of those first-round draft picks on, what I would pin as my quote-unquote quarterback of the future and maybe move on from Tyrod Taylor? But anyway, an interesting team. I've always really liked these Bills uniforms too, since they kind of went back to the throwback style. And it is a team, with some history in the NFL. They are kind of the lovable losers as of late. What was the last? It was the last time they made the playoffs, the Music City Miracle. I want to say that was their last playoff game. So, it would be cool if we could get this team back to the playoffs, of course, and try to restore it to some of the success it had when it made 4 straight Super Bowls in the 1990s. But also, I got the new Madden this year. I wanted to do a franchise series. It's something I've been planning to do. It was a pretty successful series on my channel last year, and hopefully we can repeat some of that success this year. So I'm taking on the Jets in Week 1, and I was pretty rusty in this game. You guys are going to see I actually came out playing pretty well. This is my opening drive right here. I forced a 3-and-out from the Jets on their opening drive, so we got the ball back, and we're driving right down the field. Now, obviously, this is a Jets team that is not favored in any of its games this year in real life. Pretty much the worst team in the league. Them and the Colts, I guess, I think are pretty much the consensus worst 2 teams in the league right now, at least in most people's power rankings. But a game, we're at home. It's a game the Bills won in real life, so it's a game I thought, all right, well, at the very least, we get off to a 1-0 start. And, just because we do have those extra draft picks this year and, we have kind of waved the white flag and are sort of establishing ourselves as a quote-unquote rebuilding team, does not mean I'm going to try and not win games. I mean, I want to win as many games as possible. If I could somehow go 9-7, 10-6, and make a playoff run, like, that would be awesome. I would much rather do that than go 2-14. That's for sure. But you guys are going to see I was pretty rusty. This was pretty much the first full Madden game I played. I'd gotten it on the day it was released, but as you guys have probably been able to tell from the lack of activity on my channel, I've been pretty busy since school started back up, and that is just the case when I am on campus. I'm pretty involved. I do a lot of different things on campus. Obviously I take classes, and I'm doing my senior thesis this year. It is my senior year, so that's taking up quite a bit of my time, and the free time has been few and far between these about this first week or so back at school. But I did find the time to play this game, get this series started, edit this video, and now I am making the time to record the commentary and hopefully get this up soon. But yeah, so it was basically the first, even though I got the game on release day, it's pretty much the first full game of Madden that I'd played, and the rust was pretty evident, I would say. You're going to see, especially after this kind of initial point when I got up to a 10-0 lead, I was feeling really good. I was like, oh man, maybe these sliders aren't hard enough for me. Like, maybe I'm going to have to adjust some things, or maybe the Jets are just that bad. It's kind of hard to tell. But you see there I was unable to convert on 3rd down, so it's 13-7 now. I already gave up a long touchdown run to Matt Forte, which featured a pretty badly missed tackle on my part. I do get the sack here. For those wondering, I'm going to be using charter sliders, at least for now. I've had pretty good success with charter sliders in the past. They aren't the most, kind of realistic simulation based, but they're kind of more the style I like to play, which is, I want to be trying as hard as I can to win the game. I don't really like handicapping myself for the sake of realism. It's, it's just my personal preference. I'm not saying that's like the wrong way to play the game. It's just not the preferred way to play, for me at least. But that's kind of why I like charter sliders, because you know, it's a good balance of simulation, but also challenge for someone who's been playing Madden for 15 years like I have. I think my first Madden was Madden 03, and I'm pretty sure I've had the game every year. But the only kind of complaint I had after this game with the sliders was that there were just way too many sacks. So I could be looking to adjust that a little bit. I think there were just pretty much too many sacks on both sides. And maybe I'll at least leave them as is for 1 or 2 more games. And then if the trend continues, potentially looking at making some changes. But you know, I'm all open to hearing ideas for slider sets if you guys have them, but these are the ones I'm going to be going with, at least to start. So I'm going for it on 4th down here. It's 4th and inches, and I get picked off by Marcus May, the 2nd-round pick out of Florida for the Jets this year. So I did want to wait until the Week 1 rosters were released to start up my franchise as well. I would have considered starting this about a week ago if I hadn't been waiting, but I did want to wait. It's good to wait for those, but a lot of roster moves were made right before Week 1, right at the end of training camp. Cuts, obviously, you know, pretty much every year, players that we don't expect to get cut are cut, or, you know, a couple of different roster moves were made, like the Sheldon Richardson trade, the Tony Dorsett for Jacoby Brissett trade, stuff like that. So I just wanted to get all that in there. But, you know, here you can see is really where the rust is coming out of. His 3rd and 2, I just committed the neutral zone infraction there. And then the defense just really started to struggle against this Josh McCown-led offense. And kind of just looking at the roster for this Bills team, it definitely seems like I'm going to have to focus heavily on building up the defense. Not to say that there's a ton of talent on offense, but the weapons we do have I kind of like. The rookie Zay Jones, the wide receiver, I really like his ratings. You just have to get his awareness and route running up. But the rest of his ratings are really, really good, and those are 2 easy attributes to upgrade in this game. So I'm very excited about him. Jordan Matthews, we'll see how he does. I don't really... I wouldn't be surprised totally if I moved on from him in a couple of years, but, you know, for now, he's a solid receiver. Kind of need him because we don't really have many good receivers on this team. I signed Philly Brown because he was another guy with a good speed rating, and I do like speed receivers in the more recent Madden games. It kind of seems speed kills. You see Philly Brown making the grab there out of the slot. I think that was his 2nd or 3rd grab of the day, but he is the former Carolina Panther, and I think that was the only big roster move I made before Week 1. But we also have Charles Clay. The offensive line is not great, and the good offensive linemen we do have are aging, like Cordy Glenn and Richie Incognito. So that's definitely going to be something that we need to, try to evaluate heavily in the draft. But here are just some more really bad missed tackles by my part. Like I said, the rust was pretty evident. I promise I will play better in future weeks. I'm sure I will get many comments on this video telling me how bad I am at this game. I assure you I'm not that bad. I'm probably not the best player in the world, but I think I'm fairly decent. And, yeah, I just got spun out of my shoes right there. I probably should stop user tackling altogether, quite frankly. And then Forte runs it in. So it's actually 24-16 Jets right now. They're taking it to me on my home field in the 2nd half. I was up 10-0, and since then I've been outscored 24-6. Here, Taylor is going to find his man Jones for the 1st down grab, moving the ball up the field a little bit, but that was a really, really poor pass on my part. Another illustration of the rust was that I finished this game, I think, with 4 interceptions, and this one luckily got called back because of a block in the back. Should have been another pick 6, but yeah, that's just a dumb throw. That's me not playing Madden for the last 9 months, pretty much. So that's hopefully we'll be able to avoid those in future weeks. But McCown and the Jets offense with the ball back, and my defense really after that 1st quarter just struggling to stop these guys. It's Will Tye running up the sideline. That was probably the worst missed tackle of them all so far. Here I actually cause a fumble with a hit stick, and then Adolphus Washington falls on the ball, so I get a little bit lucky there. We got our 1st turnover of the game on defense. Trying to take advantage, it's Philly Brown. Had that ball for a second, but was forced out on the hit. So 4th and 8, I'm going for a 59-yard field goal. We had a pretty windy day at Ralph Wilson, 10-mile-an-hour winds, and in this case it was to our backs right now, helping us in that 3rd quarter. So I was able to convert on the long field goal. Made it a 5-point game. 24-19 is the score. McCown dropping back, finds Will Tye on 3rd and 3, and they're going to rule that one a 1st down. That was tough. So the Jets continue to drive now, but 1st and 10, that is going to be caught. Jeremy Curley, a 9-yard gain, ball up to the 29. However, now is when Josh McCown starts doing, or I guess this whole team started doing their best Atlanta Falcons impersonation, because Forte loses 5 yards. So it's 2nd and 14 now from the 30, and it's McCown who's going to take the sack back at the 38-yard line, starting to get on the edge of field goal range, and then on 3rd down, why not? Let's make it one more sack. Kyle Williams finally going to break free here and take down McCown. Good coverage by the secondary. That was really a coverage sack right there. But anyway, from the 45-yard line, that is a, 62-yard attempt? That was obviously going to be no good from Catanzaro, even with the wind at his back. So we got the ball back with good field position, trying to take advantage. It's Taylor scrambling out of the pocket and rushing forward for 10 yards. New set of downs. Taylor now scrambling to the left side, finds his man Philly Brown on the play-action bootleg. So other than the interceptions, I didn't think Taylor played too terribly today, and honestly, the interceptions were pretty much all my fault, I would say. There wasn't really one where it was just like a bad throw on his part. But here we go, driving down the field, 3rd and goal. That is going to be incomplete. So 4th down coming up. I'm going to go for it with under 4 minutes to play. We need a touchdown on this drive, and it's Shady McCoy in the end zone making the grab. Taylor's 2nd touchdown of the day, and the Bills have retaken the lead. It's a 2-point conversion attempt to try and make it a 3-point game, and that is off the hands of the Jet defender, falls incomplete. So it remains a 1-point lead, and now the Jets with an opportunity to retake the lead even with just a field goal. And they have pretty good field position here. Ball on the 40. That's a screen play to Forte, but he stopped short, so we get the ball back. 3rd down of our own. We're going to go on a screen, and Tolbert could not get loose, so the Jets call their 2nd timeout. They will get the ball back with about 90 seconds left to play. Here's another screen. This time the pressure gets to the quarterback in time. Adolphus Washington with his 2nd sack of the day. 3rd and 21 coming up. McCown dropping back, nothing open. Finally checks it down to his running back, who probably lost the yard there. 4th and 22, game on the line. McCown finds Robbie Anderson. He just hit an extremely tight window, and man, that was a backbreaker. McCown now finds Will Tye, who gets loose, and he is going to make it to the end zone. I let him in there at the end. Once they were in clear field goal range, I had to let him in because I wanted to give myself some time to get the ball back. 2-point conversion attempt from the Jets. They're just going to run it with Bilal Powell, and he is in. So it's a 7-point lead, and now we have 54 seconds and 3 timeouts to try and drive down the field and tie this game up. Taylor dropping back, looking left side, overthrows his target, but a diving grab by Jordan Matthews. Now later on the drive, 3rd and 2, and it's intercepted. This one, maybe a bad decision. I think that was also just a really nice play by Demario Davis. But there we go, 4th interception for Taylor, and that would pretty much seal it. The Jets come into Buffalo and upset the Bills on their home field. Not the start we were looking for. Like I said, the rust pretty evident in my gameplay. Feel free to flame me all you guys want in the comment section below for probably one of the worst Madden games you have all ever seen. And yeah, a loss to the Jets at home. Pretty bad, I thought. At the very least, we could start out 1-0, but maybe we will be looking at a top 5 draft pick at next year's draft. Who knows? I think we'll get better, but that is a very tough way to start the season, no doubt. There you can see the absurd number of sacks and then the 4 interceptions, but that is going to do it. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope you guys are excited for this series. I mentioned before, Madden was the Madden franchise last year was a pretty popular series, so I'm hoping to achieve some similar success this year. So that's going to do it. I hope you guys did enjoy. Thanks for watching, and I'm out. Peace.